Hi everyone, my name is Azmia Aghny, and in this video I would like to tell you about one of the English grammar material. It is comparison degree, or more specifically comparative and superlative adjective. Oh, by the way, before we start our lesson about comparison degree, I will tell you briefly about adjective first, just in case some of you have forget about that material. So what is adjective? Adjective is a part of speech that modifies or describes a pronoun or a noun. Example, in this sentence, the house looks very old. The adjective is old. It's because the word old is describing the condition of the noun in the sentence, which is the house. So always remember that adjective is describing the noun or the pronoun in the sentences. So after recalling about adjective, we will move to our main material today. Comparative adjective. Comparative adjectives are used to compare a difference between two objects, and it is also used to compare two nouns in the sentences. Example, Mark speaks louder than Johnny. The nouns in this sentence are Mark and Johnny, and the comparative adjective will be louder. So louder in this sentence is used to compare Mark and Johnny's way of speaking. Superlative adjective. Superlative adjectives are used to describe an object at upper or lower limit of a quality. And in the sentences, it's used to describe a subject that being compared to a group of objects. Example, Mark is the loudest person in his group. So the subject is Mark and the group of objects is his group. And where is the superlative adjective? It is the loudest. The loudest in the sentence is used to show Mark speaking stood out the most in his group. Then, forms of comparative and superlative. So when we want to make comparison degree, we have to change the adjective first. So there are four forms of adjective change in comparative and superlative. First, if the adjective have one syllable, we can add er or est in the end of the adjective. And you have to also remember that superlative adjective always use the before adjective. Example, adjective tall become taller in comparative and become the tallest in superlative. The in the superlative is always used, so we have to remember it. It goes the same with big and cheap. Big become bigger and the biggest. Cheap become cheaper and the cheapest. Second, if the adjective have two syllables, we also have to add er for comparative and est for superlative, but it can be also adding more or the most. Example, adjective simple becoming simpler in comparative and the simplest in superlative. Remember that the always used in superlative. And then famous. In famous, we add more famous in comparative and the most famous in superlative. And you also have to remember that for adjectives ending in y, we have to change the y into I before adding the ending. So example, this happy have y in the ending. I have to change y to I before add the ending. So happy become happier and the happiest. Next, if the adjective have three or more syllables, we usually just add more for comparative and the most in superlative. So it become important become more important in comparative and the most important in superlative. Expensive become more expensive and the most expensive. Then the last, irregular comparative and superlative. Actually, there's kind of many list about irregular adjective in comparative and superlative, but I just list 3 common irregular adjective in comparative and superlative. So they are good, bad, and little. Good become better in comparative and the best in superlative. Bad become worse and the worst. Little become less and the least. Thanks. So guys, that's all our material about comparison degree in this video. But before I end this video, I'm going to show you an application about comparative and superlative adjective that helped me to understand more about this material. So I'm going to tell you right now. The application name is superlative and comparative adjective. I found it in the Play Store, but I don't know if there's available in App Store too. You can check it out if you are an Apple user. Then when we click open, the homepage will be like this. The first feature is show us the list of the adjective word, and when we click one, it will show us this, the adjective, the comparative, and the superlative. And we also can hear how this word pronounced. And just click the speaker symbol.
Bad. Worse. Worst.
And when we already mastered or understand this adjective, we can click mastered. So in the not master feature, the word of bad will be gone. Look, there's no bad. And then the feature flashcard is also show us the adjective list, but when we click, it's only show us the adjective, the usual adjective, the normal adjective. But when we tap the screen, it will show us the comparative change of adjective bad. And when we tap again, it will show us the superlative change of bad. So it became bad, worse, worst. And the last is my favorite feature is the quiz feature. So in this feature, we have to select true or false in this adjective, comparative, and superlative. We have to do this until 20, so just let me skip it until the end. So this is the result. I just got 14 out of 20. So I have answers 6 wrong. So we can click review test if you want to know the correct answer of our wrong answer. It will be like this. So we can study about our mistake in here.